Hey, good evening. I'm Bill Warner with EntreDot, and welcome to Monday Night Live at 7 p.m. Happy to be talking to you again here on a Monday night. Hey, this morning I did one of my culture moments on the subject of openness, and as I finished it in 1 minute, that's a moment, I guess. In 1 minute, I realized there's a lot more to this than I just talked about. It's it's one of those cultural things that touch on so many other cultural things, and it gets kind of complicated. It's there's a lot of moving parts to culture. The trust and high regard for people, mutual respect, things like that, all touch on each other. So openness is a very broad subject. So I wanted to break it down a little bit. Take a few minutes to do that. So openness integrates with other cultural characteristics, and openness involves the entire company. You can be as open as you think you can be, or so can others, but if other people at the company are not very open, you're going to have the company in that is not going to be very open, because there's a large number of people that you're not going to be able to get along with very well, and things are going to be difficult in getting your mission accomplished. So openness is a company-wide way of being, and it must be that way, and the leadership of that comes from top management. But more on that later. So what the heck is openness? Or what are the prerequisites for being accused of being open and having open communications or having openness in your company? Being open-minded, and mutually so. Open-minded, it's open-mindedness, I call it, that you're willing to listen. You're willing to hear others' ideas. You're willing to share yours, and realizing that other people may not quite agree, or they may have additional enhancements to your idea. Your open-mindedness gives you the ability to accept what other people think of your ideas, and vice versa. People are open-minded. There's a willingness to be open. If you're walking around and you're Mr. Silent and the man or woman of few words, that's not a great reputation. We want to hear from you. There's got to be a willingness for people to share their ideas, to debate ideas, to come up with new ideas, listen to others' ideas and make them better, even though they're not your own. There's a willingness to do those kinds of things in a culture that is open. There's a great deal of relatedness. People get along. And you purposely must decide that I will get along with other people, and actively, with your energy, help make that happen. And you're expecting that of others. There's a few prerequisites, I call it, but this is what openness is kind of like. When you walk into a room and it's full of open-minded, willing, and related people, you can feel it. You can feel the difference of what's going on in the room. The conversations are different. You have fewer debates that are vicious. There'll be a lot of debates that are really positive and thoughtful, though. So that's a little bit about what openness is. So let's get on into how this is all put together. At the heart of this idea of openness is safety. No, this is not all about COVID-19 now, so don't think that a minute. This is safety for individuals to express their opinion openly. Safety. In other words, management, upon hearing someone someone disagree with what management's ideas are, and is done in a constructive way, management's got to be willing to keep this a safe place. So you could say what you think. I want to hear what you think without retribution. You're not going to get fired. You're not going to get cut in pay. You're not going to get demoted into a lesser job because you disagreed. Now, this is a kind of funny fence to walk. Uh, I use the word constructive feedback, not destructive feedback. You must be constructive in this open environment to express your ideas, but others have to be willing to accept them, particularly management and the top management of the company, who everybody's afraid of. But, they hold the purse strings. They can hire me, fire me, reassign me, take away my responsibility, all sorts of things, because they don't like me, or they don't like my idea, or I disagreed. That kind of safety has to exist, and management is very verbally got to say this is a safe place to be. What we talk about with each other stays in this room and doesn't leave it, and for the most part, we're equals in a conversation. Now, that's easily said. Everybody knows there's still the manager can hire and fire and change their assignments. But management's committing not to do that in retribution. So healthy debates can occur. Management wants this to be this way. If they don't, I think we got to think about different managers, because management should want to hear new ideas. I mean, I was a pretty good manager, but I didn't have all the answers to all the problems on the face of the company I was working in. So safety, think of safety. It's a safe place to be. At the foundation of openness is a commitment, individual commitments to be open and have those characteristics I introduced you to earlier. Listening has to occur. Listening, a very special kind of listening. Empathetic listening. That means you're not just listening to words, you're trying to learn more about what this person is feeling. Why are they saying what they're saying? What's causing this? Why do they think? Why are they thinking the way they're thinking? Or why are they expressing themselves the way they're expressing themselves? So you watch the body language, eye movement, fidgeting, leg movement even. People just sometimes tap their feet all the time as they talk because they're nervous as hell sometimes. So you're listening empathetics, and you're not just listening for words, you're listening for tone. You're listening for body language. You're paying attention. Maybe is a better way to put it. Pay totally attention to what somebody else is saying. You got to get what they say and why they're saying and what they mean by what they're saying. That might take a few more questions to get into tune with them. But what a powerful conversation if at the end of it you really were in touch with the person and learn something new. Wouldn't that be great? Well, you got to listen empathetically in order to get that kind of thing. Being trustful and trusting, there's a high degree of trustworthiness exists in your company is a prerequisite as well. It's at the foundation of openness. Now, this is meant, though, in the context of when someone says, I'm going to do something by Tuesday, we trust that they're going to get it done by Tuesday. They're going to follow through on their commitment. So this is trust in the sense of follow through, and trustworthiness in the sense of follow through. So you and management and team leaders has to be trustworthy, and they have to trust the people that they're asking to get certain things done. So if the head of sales says, I can close XYZ company by next Thursday, you trust that they probably will because they've thought it through. You trust that they've got the experience, and the 18 other times that he's ever said such a thing, he's actually done it. So there's a certain amount of trust you have because Joe, the sales guy, is trustworthy. So you can take that to the bank in marketing, in development, in customer support, and manufacturing, all the disciplines of a company, business disciplines of a company, that the individual can be trusted. That's the foundation of openness. Now, what's going to be needed in order for all this to occur? Well, first of all, the openness has to be mutual. I said that way earlier. I'm going to just say it again. This is kind of everybody is involved here. This is not a few people are trustworthy and the rest aren't. In order to achieve openness across the company, it's very, very important that this culture of openness is mutual and entirely across all management and employees of the company. And the leadership of management will cause it to happen. Without the management leadership, there's a good chance it won't. But if it could, out of the mass of employees and team leaders, some amount of openness can occur, and you may have pockets of great leadership and great openness, and others that are not. That's a 8-cylinder car running on 6 cylinders, or 3 if it gets worse. We need 8 cylinders running in unison, totally open, and can be relied upon. But this extends outside the company as well. This involves customers. We've got to be open with our customers. When we make a commitment to a customer, we got to follow through. All of this listen empathetically stuff applies to customers too. This safety thing, in terms of the 2 principles, your company and the president of some other company, learn to trust each other, and they can talk to each other in a safe way. They've come to those kinds of understanding of each other. So take all of what you've learned about being open inside your company and extend it to customers. Oh, and by the way, your partners as well, for the very same reasons. Your partners are accepting the same, hopefully, the same level of commitment to openness, so that the relationships you have in manufacturing and sales and marketing with other companies to get things done for you, and your marketing plan or the delivery of products through a distribution channel from a manufacturing site, and on and on and on. The delivery of whatever they're doing for you, you've established the kind of relationship as one that is open. And behind the scenes, every individual in the company has to have the same kind of stability with their families. That gives them inner strength, gives them confidence when they're going to work that the family's taken care of. We understand each other. In the 12 to 14 hours I'm gone working for my company, they're safe, and they know they can rely on me, and I know I can rely on them. So I guess openness extends to your whole life. So realize that and do well at it. So that's what's needed here. Let's go to the next thought here. So if you do all these things, what the heck is the result? Well, I don't mean to sound trite, but I've been in companies where the teamwork and openness were extraordinary, and I've been in companies where it wasn't terribly extraordinary. It was pathetic, actually. The result is strong teamwork. There's unity. That these people on a 5 to 8 person team really are open with another. They're getting along. They understand each other. They're empathetically listening to each other. They rely on each other. They know what each one is going to do. So this 8 person team, let's say a 6 person team, is like a 6-string guitar. I don't know, I just made that up. It came out of my head, I'm sorry. But if all 6 strings are in the proper key, you strum it and it sounds beautiful. If any one string is off key, it sounds terrible. It's not going to be very good music. So that's what I mean. This strong teamwork thing has to be everybody, not just 5 out of 6 or 7 out of 8. It's all 8. So moving on. I've hammered that strong teamwork thing, but that's what you'll see. And you will not believe what they're going to be able to get done for you. And they're going to be proud of it. It's built also on mutual respect. The competency that each team member has is extraordinary, and it's recognized by everyone else. People know what other people know how to do and rely on them for their competency. They get stuff done. Joe can write that code. He'll get it done by Tuesday. Sue will finish that test plan by next Friday, and on and on. So there's this respect that they have with one another that is strong. It ties them together. There's this high regard for one another. It ties the team together. It's like the bond of electrons to the nucleus of an atom. It's incredibly strong and tight and can be relied upon, and it's consistent. They stand for each other. They're all for one. They're like the Three Musketeers. Okay, one for all and all for one. Yeah, yahoo! But it's real. You stand for each other. Hey, look, we're a 6-person team. You don't monkey with Joe, you're going to deal with all 6 of us if you don't watch out. It's that kind of. I'm sounding like a gang leader now, but it's kind of, there's some analogies to it. Standing for each other. There's this mutual respect. And if somebody says, oh, Sue probably ain't going to get that done. So, well, I think she is. She said so. I've seen her do it before. I think you can count on that. So you stand for Sue. If somebody says, I don't think Sue can really get that done. There's too much. She doesn't know this, that, or the other thing. Okay, watch this space. We'll rely on Sue. Thank you very much. So there's confidence in each of the team members in one another, built on this trust. So this is really, really strong, and the results are extraordinary. I've been in these kinds of organizations. I can attest to it. It takes a lot of work to get to this position of openness, but boy, if you get there, you are going to be happy campers. You're going to be proud of people. You're going to be happy to be in the company. Enough said. Let me summarize all this brilliance here. The outcomes are almost obvious. Increased and incredible efficiency and effectiveness. Fewer mistakes are made because you got people that know what they're doing and get it done when they say they're going to get it done. Therefore, the timeliness of the commitments of the company are dead on. They get stuff done on time, within budget, and what they said they were going to do. The quality improves. And I think this has been proven over and over and over again. So if there was any doubt in your mind about openness from my 1-minute moment on the subject this morning, I've now taken 18 minutes to go through a little bit more depth what I meant. So this is all accomplished by thorough, complete, company-wide teamwork built on openness and the other cultural qualities that you want to see in a company. I hope this has been helpful. I wish you a great evening. Thanks a lot for listening. And by the way, if you've got your thoughts on openness or any other aspect of company culture, give me a comment. I'd be glad to respond. We'll publish this video again tomorrow. Thanks for joining me tonight. Have a great evening. See you tomorrow. I'm Bill Warner with EntreDot.